Picture this. You're invited to a wedding, but instead of one day, you're told to clear your calendar for an entire week. What wedding takes 7 days includes magical henna, camel parades, and a bridal throne that makes the bride look like a queen being carried through time? What if I told you? Moroccan weddings are not just ceremonies. They're epic sagas of love, ancestry, and sensory overload. The bride doesn't wear one dress. She changes into 7 different royal outfits throughout the night. Guests don't just throw rice. They literally carry the couple through the air on golden thrones while an entire village celebrates until dawn. In Morocco, getting married isn't just about saying, "I do." It's about becoming royalty for a week, undergoing ancient purification rituals, and participating in ceremonies so elaborate they make Hollywood productions look like casual backyard barbecues? Yes, you heard right. Moroccan weddings are a multi-day, multi-sensory, multi-generational carnival of tradition. But why all the spectacle? And how do you go from camels to commitment in 7 days? Welcome to the mesmerizing world of Moroccan weddings, where every tradition has survived over 1,000 years, and where love isn't just celebrated, it's transformed into pure magic. Let's unravel the vibrant mystery of Moroccan marriage traditions, from the first prayer to the final dance. The ancient preparation rituals. Before the marriage. Here's where it gets fascinating and slightly shocking. Before any Moroccan bride can say yes, she must first survive what locals call the week of transformation. And trust me, this isn't your typical spa weekend. Before the wedding even begins, there's something called the khotbah, or the less common kitbah, the engagement. But this isn't just "will you marry me?" over dinner. Nope. In Morocco, the proposal often involves entire families literally negotiating the future like ancient diplomats, often with the groom's family bringing symbolic gifts to the bride's house. Think milk for purity, dates for fertility, and sugar for a sweet life. But here's the twist. Even though the couple usually knows each other, this ceremony still follows 1,000-year-old protocols. Once everyone agrees, and yes, aunties have a say. A religious figure called a FQIH must bless the union with the Fatiha, a Quranic prayer to bless the union, prayers that have been recited exactly the same way since medieval times. Why this elaborate family summit? Because in Moroccan culture, you're not just marrying a person, you're joining 2 entire family dynasties. Every detail, from the wedding date to the venue, gets decided by committee. It's like a board meeting, but with gold jewelry and mint tea. Now here's where things get really interesting. The hammam ritual, the ancient purification ceremony. The day before the wedding, the bride undergoes something called the hammam ritual. But this isn't just any spa day. This is a purification ceremony that involves being scrubbed with ghusl clay, perfumed with traditional oils, and spiritually cleansed by the women of both families. But why such intense preparation? Because Moroccans believe marriage represents a complete spiritual transformation. The bride isn't just getting clean, she's symbolically shedding her old life and preparing to be reborn as a wife. It's like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, but with more steam and ancient clay. Now buckle up and prepare to have your mind blown, because it's henna night, or as they call it, Laylat al-Henna. The bride's hands and feet are painted with intricate henna designs by a professional henna artist, believed to create mystical barriers against evil spirits, ensure fertility, and bring supernatural good luck. But here's the kicker. The darker the henna stains, the more powerful the protection. So brides literally pray for their skin to absorb as much color as possible because their future happiness supposedly depends on it. Imagine your wedding success being determined by how well temporary tattoos take to your skin. The science behind the magic? Henna contains natural compounds that react differently with each person's skin chemistry. So, in a way, the ritual actually does reveal something unique about each bride, just not supernatural powers, The groom? He gets a dot of henna too, for protection, because hey, blessings for everyone. The night is filled with singing, ululation, those high-pitched celebration cries, and gifts. The bride wears her first of 7 ceremonial dresses, each representing a different Moroccan region. Yes, 7 outfits. Even Beyoncé would be impressed. Now let's talk about the wedding day itself, where it gets grand and things get absolutely wild. Literally. Moroccan weddings often take place in lavish banquet halls with hundreds, sometimes thousands of guests. There's live Andalusian or Berber music, dancing that lasts till dawn, and a moment you'll never forget. Remember how I mentioned 7 outfit changes? The 7 royal transformations. This isn't vanity, this is serious cultural theater. Each dress represents a different region of Morocco, and the bride literally becomes a living museum of her country's heritage throughout the night. She starts in a white takchita, symbolizing purity, then changes into a sahrawiya honoring the Sahara Desert, and ends with a mejdoub, a gold-embroidered kaftan that costs more than most people's cars. Each change happens with full ceremony, accompanied by music and cheers from hundreds of guests. Then comes the moment that defies all logic, the Amariya procession. The bride makes her entrance on a Amariya, a canopy throne held aloft by 4 men, carried like royalty across the room. The groom enters with a sword dance or drummers. Yes, it's as cinematic as it sounds. Although, the groom sometimes has a similar carriage called a maida, which is also decorated but does not have a top. At the heart of all this spectacle comes the blessing ceremony, led by a religious officiant, usually called an adul. Vows are not exchanged like in the West. Instead, the nikah, the religious ceremony where the marriage contract is signed. This isn't just paperwork. It's a 1,000-year-old ritual where the imam recites Quranic verses that have blessed millions of couples throughout history. The groom provides a mar, a dowry, that represents his promise to care for his wife. This tradition ensures that marriage isn't just romantic, it's also a practical commitment with real-world responsibilities. And then, there's the food. Oh, the food. We're talking about feasts that would make medieval royalty weep with envy. Guests are fed rounds of pastilla, savory sweet pies, whole roasted lambs called meshoui that symbolizes the family's generosity, tagines slow-cooked with saffron worth more than gold and mint tea. And they must change outfits between courses. Okay, not really. But the bride does, again and again. The celebrations don't end when the music stops. They evolve. The morning after, there's the Sabah tradition, where the bride and groom are greeted with a milk and date breakfast that symbolizes a fresh, sweet start. Then walima, a community feast where neighbors, friends, and extended family gather to officially welcome the new couple into their married status. It's like a second wedding, but focused on social integration rather than romantic celebration. Finally comes the moment that changes everything. The symbolic journey where the bride moves to the groom's family home, accompanied by a parade of well-wishers walking through the streets, sharing milk and dates, symbols of sweetness and peace with everyone they meet. Traditionally, she is welcomed with drumming, ululation, and a silver tray of candles, each representing a prayer for joy, health, and children. In more modern families, the newlyweds might skip the family home and move into their own place, but the symbolism remains. It's about community, continuity, and the sacredness of new beginnings. The mystical henna, the flying thrones, the 7 dress changes. They might seem foreign, but they're all different expressions of the same human desires we have everywhere, to mark life's most important moments with beauty, meaning, and joy. Because in Morocco, a wedding is not just a union. It's a theatrical celebration of identity, Arab, Berber, Andalusian, Jewish, Islamic, all woven into centuries of history. It's about protection against the evil eye, honoring ancestors, and making sure everyone, including the spirits, knows that love has arrived. So, yes, Moroccan weddings are loud, colorful, intense, and deeply traditional. But whether you're wearing a white dress in a chapel or 7 royal kaftans in a Moroccan palace, whether you're throwing rice or applying mystical henna, whether your celebration lasts 4 hours or 4 days, love speaks the same language everywhere. It says, I choose you. I celebrate you. I commit to building something beautiful with you. 2 people, choosing each other. Forever. Because no matter how quirky the customs, love still feels the same. And that truth needs no translation. As Mr. Ambot would say, love never fails.